Unlock the secret language of the body and read people like a book. Welcome to the fascinating world of nonverbal communication, where a subtle shift in posture or a fleeting facial expression can speak volumes. Body language, that fascinating symphony of silent cues and signals, is a universal language more powerful than words. It's a language that never sleeps, and it's always telling a story. Just imagine, every twitch, every gesture, every furrowed brow is like a cryptic clue waiting to be deciphered. And when you crack this code, you gain an incredible insight into what people are really thinking and feeling, even when their words are saying something entirely different. Whether it's spotting a lie, understanding hidden emotions, or predicting someone's next move, body language is your secret weapon. So if you've ever wondered if someone is telling the truth or what that sideways glance really meant, you're in the right place. Get ready to become a human lie detector. Ever wondered what a lie looks like? No, it doesn't have a long nose like Pinocchio. Instead, it hides in the subtle nuances of body language. When someone's words and body language are out of sync, that's your first clue. For instance, they might be saying yes, but their head is shaking no. Another telltale sign is avoiding eye contact. Now, this doesn't mean that every time someone looks away, they're spinning a yarn. It's more about the timing. If they break eye contact right when you're asking a critical question, well, that's suspicious. Touching their face, particularly around the mouth and nose, is another common gesture among fib tellers. It's as if they're trying to literally cover up their deceit. And finally, beware of too much information. Liars often overdo the details in an attempt to make their story seem more convincing. Remember, a liar's worst enemy is someone armed with knowledge about body language. Ever wondered how our world leaders use body language? Let's take a look at Donald Trump. Cue the drum roll. Trump, the 45th president of the United States, was as famous for his unique body language as he was for his policies. Like a seasoned poker player, he utilized a repertoire of gestures, expressions, and postures, consciously or unconsciously, to convey his thoughts and intentions. Let's examine a few instances from his peace talks. Remember when he met North Korean leader Kim Jong-un? The assertive handshake was hard to miss. This wasn't just any old handshake, this was a power move, a display of dominance. Trump's hand was always on top, and he often used his other hand to pat the other person's hand or arm, a clear sign of control. And then there was his use of hand gestures while speaking. Whether he was making a point or deflecting a question, Trump's hands were always in motion. The Trumpian style, if you will. A classic example is his accordion gesture, where he brought his hands together, then apart, repeatedly. This was his go-to move when he wanted to emphasize a point or persuade his audience. His facial expressions were another key element of his body language. The furrowed brows, the pursed lips, they all served a purpose. They were his way of showing determination, seriousness, or sometimes disapproval. Then, there's the classic Trump posture, arms folded across his chest, a stance often associated with defensiveness or resistance. But in Trump's case, it was more about projecting an image of authority and unflappability. In the world of politics, body language can often speak louder than words. It can reveal what's going on behind the polished speeches and the diplomatic niceties. It's a fascinating and complex language that our leaders use, knowingly or unknowingly, to communicate their thoughts, feelings, and intentions. So, next time you see a politician on TV, remember, their body might just be telling a different story. Let's shift the spotlight to our beloved celebrities. Remember Kanye West and Taylor Swift at the Music Awards? Who could forget that unforgettable moment? Kanye West, in his classic brash style, stormed the stage during Taylor Swift's acceptance speech. His body language was aggressive, dominant, and assertive. His wide strides and the sweeping gesture of grabbing the microphone from Swift spoke volumes about his need to control the situation. On the other hand, Taylor Swift, a young starlet at the time, was visibly shocked. Her wide-eyed expression and stiff posture were clear indicators of her surprise and discomfort. She stood frozen on stage, microphone taken away, a picture of vulnerability. Her body language was a stark contrast to Kanye's, highlighting the imbalance of power in that moment. This incident was a classic example of how body language can communicate emotions more effectively than words. Swift's shocked silence and Kanye's aggressive interruption were more impactful than any words they could have spoken. The audience, both in the venue and at home, could instantly understand the dynamics at play, all thanks to the silent but powerful language of the body. So next time you're watching a celebrity on screen, try to look beyond the words. Pay attention to their posture, their gestures, their facial expressions. You'll be surprised at how much they're revealing without saying a word. Just goes to show, even in the glamorous world of showbiz, body language speaks volumes. Now let's talk handshakes. Yes, they're not just for saying hello or sealing a deal. A handshake is a silent conversation, a wordless introduction. It's a dance of hands that can reveal a lot about a person's character or intentions. For instance, did you know that a firm handshake often signals confidence? It's a sign that the person is comfortable in their own skin and ready to take on the world. On the other hand, a limp handshake might suggest the opposite. It can indicate a lack of self-assurance or even reluctance. But remember, it's not always this black and white. Context matters, and so does the cultural background of the person you're shaking hands with. Now, what about those folks who turn their hand so it's on top during a handshake? This can be a subtle display of dominance, a way of saying, "I'm in charge here." But again, it's crucial not to jump to conclusions. Some people might do this unconsciously, without any power play intended. And let's not forget the two-handed handshake, or the politician's handshake, as it's often called. This can convey sincerity and warmth. But if it's done without the right rapport, it might come off as insincere or even invasive. So folks, next time you shake hands with someone, remember you're not just greeting them, you're reading them.